Hey, today I'd like to swatch some brand new exciting paints for you. I got a few tubes of these Acryla Gouache by Holbein. They're acrylic gouache paints, and I'm really excited. So I'll do a very quick introduction and then we'll start swatching. I already prepared because I was procrastinating and they kind of scare me. So I prepared the swatch space in my sketchbook. This is a watercolor, mixed media mossery sketchbook. It's like an insert. It lies flat and you can get covers for them. But this one I'm using without because it feels less precious this way and I'm less scared of using it. And because I have this onion skin journal, which has really thin paper, I'm kind of curious to see how that will come out. So you can kind of see through the pages. And they will buckle, I'm sure, because it's a wet medium, but I think it will be quite interesting to see if we have time at the end, because my videos tend to be quite long. So the short introduction. Hi, I'm Kama, also known as Weird is the Best, and I make all kinds of art creations, starting from like screen printing and printmaking and traditional illustration, comics, zines, digital illustration, anything in between. I kind of try it out. I treat it as my art school sort of thing. I've just done like a live drawing lesson yesterday, so yeah, I just try everything until I learn and become more confident in everything. So we're going to get started because I want to make sure that I give you a good overview of these paints. I've never used Acryla Gouache before. I use some different kinds of paints from this brand, Holbein, but I haven't really used acrylic paints before, apart from when I was painting some clay pins, but it's I think a bit different because clay is quite, like my pins were quite small and very abstract, like weird faces. So yeah, that will be my first real time using this paint. And I prepared a brush. This is like a really rubbish brush. I still haven't decided what brush I'm going to commit to using these paints, so I'm going to start small. And I'll lose my voice, of course. And I just realized I don't have a palette. So I'm going to use this. It's got some watercolor on it, but I think I'll just use these. And I'll try and use up the paint as I go. I think maybe this will be my swatching in this sketchbook, so I'll just make some space. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll swatch here, and then any leftover paint I'll kind of use up in this sketchbook. Some of it might come out a bit off camera, so I'm just trying to work out how to go about that. Maybe if we do this. I thought I was prepared, but I wasn't. Okay, yeah, I think that will work. I'll just do it upside down on this right hand side. I think this way we can do 2 for the price of 1. So that should be fun. Am I in shot? Yes. Okay. So I think I'll just get into it. So the first one I put down is neutral gray, number 1, 161. And I wanted to read these out, but I kind of can't remember enough katakana. I know enough hiragana, but not katakana to read them out, so tough, I guess. Let's start with the neutral gray. It's got pigments PBK7 and PW6, and it's fully light fast, I think. That's what this means. Series A. Oh no, that's a lot of paint. I'll be careful with the next one. Don't have very space for these. Okay, that's better. Just got some water on my paintbrush. Don't really know if I'm supposed to use them straight out the tube or not. I imagine there's a variation how they look based on how you use them. This is very light gray, so it might not come out very well on the camera, although I can see. I just checked and it's okay. Yeah, so I haven't decided which brush I'm going to dedicate to these paints because it's acrylic. It will, once it's dry, it might not come off the brush if I haven't cleaned the brush. So I need to pick a brush that I will only use for these paints, and if I damage it, that's fine, but at least I won't be using many different brushes and then damaging multiple ones. Does that make sense? Okay, so this was the neutral gray. I should probably make sure my brush is clean. And my water jar is already murky. But that happens. There's something floating in it. That's one of the reasons I really was scared of getting these paints, is they're acrylic, so they don't really wash off very well once they dry, and I'm messy. I think I'll go this way and then this way just so I don't smudge it. So the next one up is Blue Violet with BV1, and the number of the paint is D114. I'm not quite sure what D stands for. If you know, please let me know. I'm just going to check if I'm in shot and everything in focus. Should probably be using it even less than this, but I'll try it next time. That's a very deep violet. Really lovely. I think what I'll do is I'll use it on dry on more pages than just one, so that I can have some backgrounds to draw against, like Sophie McPike style. That removes the fear of the blank page for when I get to paint on them or draw on them. That should be fun. And it doesn't really matter if they get stuck. I'll deal with it, maybe? We'll see. Okay. And I'll add it to the page a bit more watered down, just to see what it looks like. And it doesn't really stick together, so that's good. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, so this was Blue Violet. Clean the brush immediately. Because that's a very good habit with acrylic paints. So yeah, Blue Violet, BV1. I'm done with that one. I think today we're going really fast, so it might be a shorter video. Some of you might be happy to hear. Then we have the 121 pale lilac, and the pigments in it are PR122, PV23, and PW6. So red, violet, and white. I'll try and use a bit less, just because I have to use it up afterwards. I really like it. I already like the color. This has some brilliant granulation. I didn't expect that. That's interesting. I didn't clean my brush properly, but I think I'll accept this. Because there's not much space left. Let me clean the brush better. I have another bowl, but there's a lot on my desk already, so it's off camera. That's what I'm doing. I really wanted to just to see. Okay. Clean this off. What's the next one? Pale Peach, which is this one. E014, Pale Peach. And the pigments in it are PR9, PY83, and PW6. So red, yellow, and white. And white is usually what they add to like pastel colors to make them more transparent, but also much more light. So there's quite a lot of space. Oh, I should have used more. I need to use more. Have you used these paints before? I'm really curious because I haven't, this is the first time I'm trying them, and I've been putting it off for such a long time. And I'm just curious, what do you think of them? Whether you like them, or you think they're a bit, overhyped, if that's a word that exists. Yeah, I'm curious, let me know. And if not, are you inspired to try them now? Or perhaps you have favorite colors from the ones I used today? I'm curious, let me know. Okay. So this was Pale Peach. 014. I just made a mess. It was a bit too rough with my brush. But this brush I made this brush kind of a sacrificial brush for when I don't want to feel too precious about things. And I think that's a nice way of starting with something that, I felt was a bit intimidating until now. Lower pressure. This way. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. I usually record videos towards the end of the day, but today I started quite early, so I'm still full of coffee and still sleepy. If that even makes sense. How can you be full of coffee and yet sleepy? That's just me. Yeah, the second part of the day is usually my better part. But I figured I could use some daylight. Really nice blue. It's almost grey. Yeah, I was thinking, could I use these two as like cloud colors? And I think they could work quite well. I might get my other sketchbook out just to create more backgrounds. Just had a drink because I haven't drunk enough water today. I always forget, so that's why I have this. So I don't forget. It kind of reminds me. Okay, don't really have space for them, so I'll just hold them up when I do want to use them. So this is my regular drawing sketchbook, and this one's my people drawing sketchbook. And I've really enjoyed these like super quick poses in it, but I digress as always. I think, yeah, I'll start with this one. Okay. And while it dries, I use the other one. Yeah, it's a nice way of preparing the pages, and then you don't care so much about the result. I might even use this watercolor, because why not? Cool. I'm almost done with both of them. Like this one is much closer to being finished. So that should be fun soon. Another sketchbook tour. I'm really going through them really quickly, but that's not a bad thing. That just means I'm enjoying my art practice at the moment. I'm on day like 140 or something of drawing every day. So yeah, it feels nice. And I got distracted. Okay, Deep Violet, which is this one. So I'm trying to be a bit more conscious with what I pick, because I really wanted to just get a set of pastel colored ones. Then I realized that that doesn't give me much range to paint anything, and you need some darker values and lighter values. I didn't do very well, but I at least went for one dark. Something tells me I should have swatched this one last because it will mark up the water, but too late now. Deep Violet. Oh. It's D112. Deep Violet. And PV23 is the pigment, so just one pigment. I don't really know if that's a good thing or a neutral thing. I'm still learning about pigments and things like that. Oops, I forgot that I wanted it wet. Ooh. I added a lot of color. I really hope the pages don't get stuck to each other. I hope no one cringes watching this. I still have loads of pigment on the palette. That's a very saturated color. Okay, so maybe dark colors go a long way, but lighter colors need a bit more paint to come through. That makes sense. And clean my brush well. And these are super cheap brushes, so I'm not too precious about this one. It's probably worth like less than £1. It's from when I was starting to experiment with wet medium and didn't really pay much attention to what I was buying, and honestly, they're the best ones. I might drop a bit of... I might do an extra test of these. Oh no, I added a lot of water. This will take forever to dry now. Then we have Leaf Green, D070, Leaf Green, And I love this shade, so this color, so hopefully it will not disappoint. The pigments in it are PY3 and PG7, so yellow and green. Really nice for like drawing grass, I imagine, painting grass rather. I love this color. And I was trying to get a sort of palette that will go nicely together. I don't know if I succeeded, but this is my attempt. This color is a bit strange. Maybe the binder is different. Yeah, I could see some come out actually. It looks like it has some neon in it, but I don't know enough about pigments to know for sure. I can definitely tell there's yellow in it. It's kind of separated. I love it diluted with water. Artistic. Doesn't really come off very nicely on this type of paper, so I'll try it here because it's pure white. It should mean that it comes more true to what it actually is. This is more off-white, so, or natural white, so it will distort the color as a result. I love this, it's like a highlighter. And I hope I can draw on top of these paints, because who knows, I haven't tried it yet, so I hope I'm not making these pages a bit useless. This is very saturated. It goes a really long way, even though at first I thought it didn't. Cool. So that was leaf green, and in concentrated form and in more kind of watery form. There's a big difference. So that's interesting. Maybe when it dries, it looks more consistent. Just gonna brush off. And orange yellow. I think this will go nicely with this color. We have 036 orange yellow, and it's got PY83 and P013, so yellow and must be orange. And I didn't really go through the permanency rating, or what I think is light fastness, because most of them aren't, and I think the only one that was fully light fast was the grey one. Yeah, some of them are almost light fast. I don't know if they are good for finished work, but yeah, if you know of any videos that test them, give me a shout. Or if it's one, yeah, if you've tested them, let me know. So it's good to know this kind of stuff. It's a very orangey color. It's very unlike me, but I'm recently being a bit more drawn towards it. Because it can add such a nice highlight. It's granulating as well. Great. Oh wow. Goodbye, blank pages. Might have made a mess. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to hold it up for you so you can see it a bit more up close. Neutral grey number 1, misty blue, blue violet, deep violet, pale lilac, leaf green, pale peach, and orange yellow. And the yellow looks much more fluorescent than the green. But I'll try and fix the colors for you so you can see them a bit more real, true to life. Yeah, I wanted to record in daylight, but it's actually quite overcast today. So I think what I'll do is I'll just start painting random colors and add lots of water and see how they mix together, just for fun. Should have left this orange there on the palette. I think I'll just grab each a little bit and see what happens. So saturated. Maybe I've overdone it. I think the best test would be the darker colors because you won't be able to see much granulation on the lighter ones anyway. And let's add this one. I'll have to be fast. I'm scared already. It's a lot of paint. And maybe this lilac. I think the rest I'll leave for now. I'm going to quickly make sure that it's not dirty. That's how you lose your paint, when you can't open it ever again. If it dries off on the cover. Oh wow, it's gone really dark. Just going to... Okay. I'll use cleaner water for this. What should we go for next? Maybe the green one. Oops. So bright. I don't think it's granulating. It doesn't come off as granulating color anyway. Going for lilac next. Kind of gone murky a bit, but that's okay. Because this is just a playful page. Doesn't really matter if it's perfect or not. Yeah, definitely. I would say at this stage it's a messed up page, but it's okay. Sometimes you've just got to be brave and ignore the bits that don't work out. Oops. Clean your brush first. Okay, I've well overdone it. Just try and take some off. Okay. Yay, we created a mess. I'm just going to use up remainder of the paint. This one needs a bit of green, I think. I hope this doesn't bother anyone too much, that I'm so messy and free. Because when I'm not, I'm not creative anymore. That's how I got into art blocks in the past. They're still going to happen. Art blocks, but so far I stayed away from them in December. Let's do purple. I like this. Bit dark, but hey, I'm sure I'll draw something on top. We're almost done, I promise. Okay. Just quickly going to clean my palette before it's too late and the paint becomes a part of this palette. Maybe I should have one that's just permanent paint forever. I've seen people do that with acrylic paint, so maybe that's the way around it. Okay, so we've swatched 8 Acryla Gouache paints today. If you would like me unbox these paints along with a few different art supplies from recent art hauls, check out my video. I'll link up in the description and in the cards. But you can see how the paint started granulating, and yeah, some colors are more granulating than others, so that's cool to know. I didn't realize that acrylic paint could granulate, but I guess it's just paint, so like any other. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can like and subscribe, and if you hit the bell icon, you can make sure that you don't miss out on my videos. If you would like to be notified every week, then you can do so. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Weird is the Best. I'm also on Patreon and on Etsy, where I kind of share more of my love for art with you. I hope you have a lovely day artsing, and until next time, bye! Ta-da.